The horror of human nature. William Golding didn't write Lord of the Flies just to tell a survival story. He wrote it because he wanted to express a terrifying opinion about human nature, that an evil impulse lies within everyone. To prove his point, Golding drew from his own life. He experienced World War II, and what he saw during that time was horrifying. He believed that if civilization is diminished, everyone's evil tendencies will eventually come out. Because of this experience, he created a world where a group of young boys stranded on a paradise island watched their world slowly turn into chaos. The setup in The Paradise Lost. It starts with an evacuation. These young boys were being flown away from destructive war in Britain, but when their plane was attacked and crashed on a deserted island, they initially thought it was beautiful. They realized quickly they needed aspiring leaders to guide them if they wanted to survive and leave the island. But their choices were based on stereotypes. They looked to Ralph first simply because he was athletic and good-looking. Then there was Jack, who was also deemed good by the group. But no one paid attention to Piggy. Piggy was smart, but because of his physical appearance, he was mocked by everyone, especially the leaders, Jack and Ralph. The conflict. Democracy versus dictatorship. As the novel progresses, we see two very different types of leadership emerge. Ralph represents the Democrat. He gives everyone equal opportunity and tries to remain civilized. His main tool is the conch shell, which he uses to gather everyone. Then there is Jack. Jack represents a dictatorship. He demands total control over his people. While he gets things done like finding food, his totalitarian leadership means his followers do not actually like him. He is simply too controlling. Drastic changes happen to their friendship because they crave power. They cannot agree on the most basic goal. Should they focus on rescue or hunt to stay alive? This disagreement turns into hate, dividing the island into two camps, savagery and civilized. The psychology, id, ego, and superego. There is a theory called the Freudian psyche that explains this breakdown perfectly. As the story goes on, the inner id of the characters comes out. The id represents instincts, the idea that oneself is more important than others. This is Jack. He wants to do what he wants, and if anyone refuses, he yells at them. The ego is Ralph. He combines societal rules with survival instincts, caring for others while trying to get off the island. The superego is Piggy. He exemplifies caring for people, especially the little ones. Piggy and Ralph work well together, not because they are friends, but because they are both civilized. The symbols and the end. The objects on the island tell their own story. The conch shell symbolizes the rule of law and the order of society. The fire represents technology and cooking. Piggy's glasses represent science and technology. And then there is the beastie. The boys feared a monster, but the beastie actually represents the evil that lies inside a person. In the end, Golding's message is clear. Without the rules of society to hold us back, the beast isn't something we hunt, it's something we become.